Hello, this is Stacy, Battle Axe Standing in the Gap. Today's conversation is about current events. It is August 18th, 2021. Let's roll, guys. Let's talk about all the stuff that's happening before our eyes. Some of us can't believe, and some of us have been blown away by. Okay, guys, let's start out with the joke that the talking heads have made of themselves this week. From the politicians to the mainstream media, all we have heard about the Afghanistan situation is who's to blame. Joe Biden's to blame. Trump's to blame. They're pointing the fingers at each other. And you guys, it's all nonsense. There is no two-party system. If you have fallen for the two-party paradigm, wake up. Because they're two sides of the same coin. There is people to blame going all the way back to Bush. And guys, at the end of the day, it's the elites. But I'm going to touch more on that in a little bit. But I want you to look at these scenes. These are wonderful blessings. These scenes are our men and women coming home after fighting for 20 years. Guys, some of these soldiers have PTSD. Our soldiers have been maimed. Our soldiers have been killed. Thousands have been killed. And finally, they are coming home. And this, guys, we should be celebrating. Okay, folks, but this is the question everybody is asking. Why is our military leaving in the dead of the night, jumping up like they got bit in their backside, like they got taken by surprise, and leaving all these billions and billions of dollars of military equipment behind? Now, we know that some of this equipment was left for the Afghani army. We know that. But the vast majority of it, the tanks, the planes, the helicopters, all this stuff is being left behind not only for the Taliban to take and use against us, but China. Because China is stepping in. Literally, within 24 hours after the U.S. announced that they were leaving, China has stepped in. There's a lot of intellectual property and technologies that is going to be handed over to the Chinese that will be used against us. And we have to question why. Why are the DC Devils doing this? That's what I ask to you. Please comment in the question below. But here, folks, is this guy part of it? This was the president of Afghanistan. Guess what? He tucked tail and ran with vehicles full of cash. He got out. He's safe. He left his people and he left his army back to die. And shortly after he left with his billions of dollars in cash that the U.S. citizens most assuredly gave him, the military, their so-called strong military, bent over and handed the weapons that, they had to the Taliban. They, quote unquote, fell. Why? Why did they fall so easily? Of course, when their president tucked tail and ran with billions of dollars in vehicles, I am sure many of them lost heart and they did not have leadership at that time. However, these are men with families. They have wives and children. And guess what? They refuse to stand and fight for their freedoms and their liberties after 20 years of training by our U.S. military, 20 years of $1 trillion spent in infrastructure to prop them up in the quote-unquote nation building, which isn't nation building at all. It's actually corporation building. But guys, these are the faces of them on the planes. And I'm going to show you that in a second. But these are the faces. These are the type of men that left their wives behind, their children behind, tucked tail and ran so they could save their own damn hides. People, are these the type of men we want in our country? The type of men that leave their women behind to be raped, to be sold into the sex trade, to be beheaded for not putting burqas on? Is this the type of people we want? It's not even migration, transported to our communities? I don't think so. Look here, I challenge you. I think I counted 4 women in this photo right here. I mean, this doesn't make sense. This is an invasion given over by our DC Devils. Now, I want you to look at these photos here. This, you can look in the upper left corner here. This is Funkner 530. He posts a lot of videos and stuff from actual soldiers in the Middle East. This is the scene right now, as of yesterday, I should say, in Afghanistan. You will see that this helicopter actually had to fly low and clear the path for the huge transport plane to come through. This next scene is something out of a Hollywood movie, like World War Z. I mean, look at the numbers. Is this where their women and children are? I can't tell you because it's hard to get, there's no definition there. But guys, this is mind-blowing. This is a travesty. It's horrific in nature, all of it. Well, guys, while the women and children are being left behind, these are the faces being imported into your nation. I personally believe these are the faces that will commit the next 9/11. I believe these men will be the ones that take down our grid and will attack the American people. I truly believe that. But guys, while they're coming to our nation, our American citizens, 11, as much, and that's a low estimate, as much as 11,000 citizens are stuck in Afghanistan. And our U.S. military is told to leave them there, that they cannot get to them. Right here it says, to make their own way to the Kuala airport where the Taliban has checkpoints. Well, guess what? These people can't get there. And the U.S. Department tells them, just stay home if you can't get there. So while our people are going to be slaughtered, young military-age men are coming here. And this is the report coming in, that we still have 22 underground pastors in Afghanistan. Only one of them was able to escape the Taliban. There was reports from the Taliban yesterday that they were scheduled to be beheaded at 12 noon as of yesterday. I still don't know if that has happened. Dear Lord, all we can say is help them, be with them. And this here, this face of this woman helping these precious little girls, teaching them the true message of liberty and freedom through the message of the gospel. These are the people being left behind. These women, the children, the missionaries, God help them. God have mercy on them. God hide them in plain sight and send deliverers. My fellow Americans, many argue we are in 1930s Germany. No, we're not. We're in the 1700s when King George, the tyrant, sent more loyalists to fill the American colonies, to take over American lands so that he would have the people he needed to drive the colonists, the patriots out. We are being bombarded from the southern border right now. We are having the enemies shipped in on U.S. military planes right now. All I can tell you, people, is this. The only answer to all these solutions is to prepare and pray. We need to pray and we need to ask God for help. We need to ask Him to keep His hand of protection and blessing on us as we face these trials. We need to keep our eyes to the heavens and plead and pray fervently, as the Bible says, without ceasing, for Him to make good of what is clearly a plan to do evil on this nation. Go into your prayer closets, people. Get quiet. Get humble. Now is the time to be on your faces crying out to God for the lost souls, for the innocent that are going to get the brunt of what is happening in these Middle Eastern wars that we should have never been in the first place. Pray that we are not going to reap what our government has sown for the past 50 years. And pray and prepare, take action in the physical for your family's safety and security. You need to prepare for the safety of your family because your government is not doing it for you. They're the ones importing the threats to your family. They're the ones that are not shutting down the borders. They're the ones that are driving the deficit and the debt and causing inflation to 7.7% so that you can't make your bills. You're living paycheck to paycheck. So you need to be with like-minded people. You need to gather with your communities. You need to be ready for what is coming and what is happening. Guys, worst case scenario, grid goes down. That's what I believe is going to happen, and I will share more on that later on why I believe that. But for now, God bless you all. Get going, get prepping, praying, and wake up. Wake up. This is Stacy, the Battle Axe, standing in the gap. I hope you enjoyed this. Please hit the like button and share if you see this video as a value. Have a good day.